Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
We are live.
Yes, we are live to talk about
Sister Wives,
Tell All
Part 4.
Or
Yes.
Part 1, 2, or 3 if you guys want.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of them because Mom wasn't here for it. I decided not to go live on Sunday. We're going to wait for Mom and we could both talk about what has been happening and also what happened on Sunday. Wow. Can we talk about it? Robin wasn't in the episode at all, which I kind of liked.
She was one little tiny
second.
thing. Yeah, where she's
there.
I feel like I'm betraying everybody. I need the sister wives. I need them to all tell me that
Yes.
it's okay for me to be happy.
Yes. So she was barely in it. We got to see David, which is Christine's new husband.
Yes, and the wedding is going to air on TLC.
Yes.
2 parts.
Yes.
January 7th.
Yes.
And January 14th on TLC at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes. And they talked about the proposal. They talked about how they met, which is so cute. I love that. They also talked about how he was a widow, right? Or what do you call that?
Okay, so
You're gonna hear a tiny human crying. Sorry.
Basically, as far as David, he was married for 20 years.
Yes.
He's a widow. He has 8 kids and they say 20 grand.
Yeah, he has a bunch of grandkids. Which, I mean, if you have 8 kids, you're going to have a bunch of grandkids. So
And I thought it was funny because he said when he first told his daughter about meeting Christine, she thought he was being catfished.
That was the best. Because, I mean, really, when do you meet somebody like that online that is, famous and
So,
stuff?
and he says he was attracted to her immediately. He liked her energy, her
bubbly,
quirky personality,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew she was the one for him.
Yes, and I love that.
And they asked if she was his physical type, and he said, "Yeah, well, I was blonde at one time too." But we all know he's bald now.
Yes, he is bald. But they just talked about how he proposed, and she had no idea that he was going to propose, and he took her to his favorite spot to propose, and I think that's really cool.
Yes. So in the beginning, they talked about basically. She talked to Mary about what Mary wanted for the future, and Mary wants to find a soulmate too. Mary wants to be happy. I don't know what happened between Christine and Janelle and Mary. Well, a little bit. In my opinion, I think that Mary went into this marriage very much in love with Cody and very excited about the marriage.
Yeah.
I think that she wanted to live plural marriage, but the jealousy was just too much for her.
I agree.
I don't think she could handle it. Then, also, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything
Whatever.
like that. So I don't know. But as I see Mary's personality type, I see her as very OCD.
I can see that. She is
everything
very
has to be a certain way, and
we look at her house too. They go inside of her house, and it's always been pristine. She made Christmas PJs. I mean, that's a certain type of person.
She's very much, this is the way you do things.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no other way.
I agree.
And I think that when Janelle came into the marriage, Janelle just kind of did whatever, because she was like this free spirit. And I'm going to talk more about that, about Janelle and how Janelle and Cody met on the next episode of the Sister Wives book. But she wanted to live in a teepee and be wild. And so when she came in, we know Janelle's house has never been
no, Janelle's just a free
clean.
spirit kind of.
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's dirty. It's just disorganized.
Yeah.
And Mary is very much everything has to be
Type
a certain way.
Typing.
And then when Christine came in, I think things got a little bit better because there was more buffer for Janelle. But for Mary, it just got worse because there was more jealousy.
I think Mary is a jealous type, and it's sad, but I think she is. And then bringing it on Robin just made it 100 times worse.
And I think they talked about there being types with Sister Wives, and I think originally Mary was his love interest.
Yeah.
And, he called her lover, and they had a very romantic relationship. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting over this.
She's not feeling very well. but that's
So they had this very romantic relationship and were very lovey-dovey.
mm-hmm.
And then Janelle was like the friend, the financial, the responsible one
Mm-hmm.
who worked and took care of all the business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Christine came in, she was like the caregiver, taking care of the
Yeah,
children.
she took care of like the kids.
So that balance was disrupted when Robin came in because there was no place for Mary anymore. Because
yeah,
lover, lovey-dovey was replaced by Robin.
yeah.
And there was actually no place for any of them because Robin replaced them all.
Well, they said that the dynamic really did change when Robin came into the picture. I mean, they've said this multiple times this season that things really did change when she
Yes.
came into the picture. So, moving forward, we did take a couple notes.
So he pretty much blames Christine for unraveling his family and destroying all of his dreams.
Yes. Yeah. I think he's very bitter to her. Like, he's not quite bitter to Janelle. Like, in my personal opinion, he's more bitter to Christine in this situation.
Yeah, and he says it's his fault for marrying these women he didn't love. Well, you didn't love any of these women.
Why
but
does
you
he keep
produced
saying that?
13 children with them.
But why does
What
he
kind of person just sleeps with women and I don't love you, but I'm just going to make babies. And go get a job and support me.
I just think that he's very bitter.
Well, I think that exactly what happened is this. He was living polygamy with Mary, Christine, and Janelle. And it wasn't great, and it wasn't perfect, and they were very poor. You've heard some of the kids talk about how poor they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were poor. A couple of them filed bankruptcy. They were living on food stamps.
Yes.
There was no money. Cody, I don't think he ever had a real job that he held for any period of time.
No.
I think Janelle's the only one that really worked full-time regularly. And then the show happened. And the show happened right when Robin happened. Convenient for Robin.
I gotta go see if he's okay.
And
I'll be right back.
yes. So the show happened right when Robin came around. He got Robin. He got this woman. You gotta realize she's 10 years younger than Cody and the other wives. 10 years younger. He had a midlife crisis. We see it in regular marriages all the time. Where these men, they want sports cars and they want young women and they leave their family and the wife that they've been with for 20-some years because they're having a fling with some young one. So, Robin came into the family. He got a young diesel jeans model, which she wasn't a diesel jeans model. And he got fame, and he got money, and that's all he ever really wanted. So he really had no use for these women. He wanted to go enjoy his life and his money with Robin. That's it. But there was a lot that was said in this episode, a lot that's come out in this tell-all about why they did the things that they did to Robin's ex-husband. Because Cody makes it quite clear that, let's see, and I put it down here, and he said something about that Christine has to make Cody look bad, look like he was a bad guy. She has to do that so that David doesn't think that she left a good man. She has to, okay, so basically this is why they trashed Robin's ex-husband. She has to destroy Cody's character so that David doesn't think that she left a good man. Cody thinks that he was a perfect husband. He thinks he was a perfect father. He thinks he was a good man. And David's response to a lot of that was, now I just see a marriage that didn't work out and we're moving on and I found Christine now and we found each other and we're going to go live our life. And we don't really care what Cody was a good man or not a good man. But it makes sense that Cody had to feel like Robin did not leave a good man. Robin left a bad man. And that gave Cody permission to marry her and to adopt the kids. So a lot of that was crazy. So a lot of it was talking about David and Christine. So let me kind of just look through my notes here because I wrote so much stuff down. And Christine mentioned, and like we said, this did not just happen. She said over the last 10 years. So this has been going on since Robin entered the family. He says that they don't know Robin at all. Christine has no desire to have a plural life again. Cody does not want to find another wife, and he's pretty much said, how can I go be with another wife when and they know that the woman that I love is Robin. So Janelle did not think that they would bring in another wife either. Janelle thinks they're just going to live monogamy. Robin and Cody found each other and they want to be together, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the other wives need to move on. And Janelle says that she is moving on. She does not want to look back and be with Cody again. I hope that Janelle finds somebody that is her soulmate and someone that will really cherish and love her, because she deserves that, as does Mary. You know, this whole background with Mary, I don't know. I don't know if it all happened when they were first married or if it happened when Mary took Robin's side all the time. And I think that Mary took Robin's side one too many times, and Janelle and Christine were done with her. They don't trust Robin, and now they don't trust Mary. But basically she says she's in love, that they went on a few dates, they went to a play, and he was really excited at the way she reacted, and she had this image of a bald man with tattoos on a motorcycle, and he says, I did have a motorcycle, I do have tattoos, and she has a tattoo now. She has a tattoo over her heart, and he has a matching one. So that's kind of interesting. And something else that she said before, that she didn't want to be in a marriage where her children knew that that her husband was not attracted to her and did not love her. She did not want them to think that that was okay, because it's not. And she wanted them to see that you cannot stay in a relationship with someone who doesn't care about you. The person that you're with needs to care about you. So he keeps going on about how Christine has turned the kids against him. But I think he's turned his own kids against him. And I think that's evident by what we're seeing on some of the Patreons with Gwen and McKelty, that they really just wanted their father to accept them and love them, and they don't feel like they got that from him. Maybe he can be a better father at some point, but right now I think that he's angry, and he's angry that they left him. He left them a long time ago, but he's angry that they left him. So Christine and David got married in October, and that was really exciting. It was a very different wedding. She wanted the fairy tale wedding, and she had it, and that's great. Now, they did talk about who was going to be invited. She did say that she was not inviting Mary. She was not inviting Robin or Cody. But Leon, Mariah, Mary's child, and her partner were invited to the wedding. So I'm pretty sure that they did come to the wedding. So we'll see on October 7th who all was there. I just think that it's over as far as the polygamy part of this. I think that people are interested in knowing what's going to happen in the future for all of the wives. I don't think people are that interested in Cody and Robin, so to speak. I wonder what's going to happen when the show is over. I wonder if Robin's going to stay around or if she's going to leave. Because I don't really think that Robin married Cody for the same reasons that Cody married Robin. We'll see. Time will tell. If the money keeps rolling in, I think Robin will keep rolling along. If the money stops rolling in, I think that Robin's going to walk. And I think that she's done some things to set herself up to be the victim in this if she does decide to skip by saying, some things that the one discussion that was on another YouTube channel about Cody screaming about her talking on the phone to another man that happened to be somebody that she was doing business with, and he was so upset that she was talking to another man. The hints that she's dropping about how Cody's sabotaging their marriage. The hints about how he is just so miserable and angry all the time. That might be her just paving the way for her way out if she wants to run. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to break down each one of these tell-alls, which just pulling out some of the main points that were made and just kind of really talking about those, about the lies, about the deceptions, about things that happened and didn't happen, and signs that we should have seen. I think that all in all, they came on TV to show polygamy in a good light. And what they ended up doing was showing polygamy as being very destructive for the women involved. Very. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still getting over this terrible cold. I think it was very hard on these kids, too. And, that's another thing that I want to talk about, because they've talked about the kids and how, they're just trying to make money off of being on Patreon and YouTube and stuff like that. Why shouldn't they? These kids were on television most of their life. Why should they not be able to tell their side of the story, and why should they not get paid for it? I do not begrudge them that at all. If they can make a living doing that, great. If they can get a little bit of extra income doing that, great. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you want us to talk about, just leave a comment and we will do that. But for now, I'm going to go. Paige had to go because her son is screaming. And I'm going to go because I'm starting to lose my voice again. But we are going to be posting more videos, and thank you so much for watching.